Hello, welcome to this week's vlog. It's currently Tuesday. I normally start these vlogs on a Saturday. I've just finished work and I've snuck upstairs. The kids are actually being quiet for once. To start this vlog for this week. What a weird weekend. I did start the vlog on Saturday originally, and I don't know what's going on with the kids. I don't mean that in a really negative way. It sounds really negative. I don't mean it to sound that way at all. Behaviour has been challenging. When behaviour gets challenging, I find it triggering. I find it challenging. It takes me back to my own childhood and how I may have been disciplined for doing similar things. It is hard anyway, I think, because kids these days, as to use one of those overused phrases, it's a very different childhood to what we experienced in the 80s, and it's hard not to say, do you not realise how lucky you are? Because they get all these things and they've got access to so many different things and TV on demand and blah 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 blah. And I don't want to say that, because if each generation isn't making it better for the next generation, then what's the point? That's what we're supposed to do. So it's been quite hard for me. Also, I've been reading lots about kind of neuropsychology and the vagus nerve or the vagal nerve. I never know what to call it. And I'm doing a course on that next week, I think it is, or maybe the week after. But I've been reading this book. Let me show you. I've been reading this book, which is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. And it is fascinating because it teaches you that if you have been through trauma, and like I say, I always class myself as being through little t trauma, I've certainly not been in a battle zone, but there's things in my life that at the time I just thought, nah, that's normal. And now I look back, I think, yeah, it was normal, it happens to people, but I probably didn't deal with it in the right way. So it's kind of got like trapped in my brain a little bit. And it talks a lot about how people who store trauma in their body, how they deal with things, and how their go-to response isn't always the best response. So because I know that and I'm aware of that, I can try and stop myself from being shouty mummy, and I can try and make myself be gentle parenting mummy, but it is hard because it's not necessarily my natural response. And like I've said before, sometimes gentle parenting just doesn't seem to work. So absolutely no shade on my kids, because their behaviour is completely normal. That's what kids are supposed to do, but it doesn't make it any easier for us parents who are trying to bring up well-rounded, psychologically adept, happy little individuals. It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard. The responsibility is immense. So yeah, we had a hard day on Saturday, a really hard day. And I started to film little bits here and there, and it just didn't really happen. And one, I don't want the vlogs to be like really, I found that I was like venting on the vlogs about my kids. I don't really want it to be that, because if my kids watch it back, they'll be like, Mummy, that wasn't very nice. And obviously it'll be out of context, because what they just said to me wouldn't be on the vlog, and I wouldn't then be able to remember it in say 5 years when they come to watch it. So I don't want that. And also Elliot kept kind of like coming in and jumping in the vlog. And while I don't mind them featuring a little bit here and there, I'm not a family vlogger. I don't really want my kids to be part of this, because they can't consent at their young age and they don't really know much about the internet. So they'll pop in and out occasionally, but you know, this is about me and my midlife / mum life crisis. So yeah, Saturday didn't massively happen for that reason. It's a shame, because Mr. H took Jake swimming and I was going to have a day with Elliot and we were going to have like a fun day, and it just didn't work out that way. I think he might be tired. Obviously he's gone back to school. He's gone into year 3, and year 3, you know, reception was a lot about play and learning. And then when he went into year 1, because he missed so much of reception because of the lockdown and the schools being closed, they kind of kept the play element going for a little bit longer than they would have previously. And then again, he missed a lot of year 1 because of lockdown. So in year 2, they kind of kept it a bit more relaxed for longer as well. So I know they kind of had carpet spaces for longer when they would have ordinarily been sitting at desks. So I think year 3 has been like, you sit at a desk and you do academic work all day. So it must be quite a contrast into what he's used to. So I guess there's that element of it, although Elliot's quite an academic kind of guy, so that actually might suit him. But he's also doing lots and lots of after school activities. He wants to join everything, bless him, which is really sweet. But obviously that takes its toll as well. Parties have started up too, so I think he's just absolutely burnt out. I also don't know, obviously it was the Queen's funeral this weekend, and I also don't know if that's affected him. You know, it's affected us all more than we expected, I think. So maybe that's something too. Trying to get to the bottom of it. I'm trying to talk to him. It's obviously hard. He's 7. He's very emotionally intelligent for his age, but you know, he's not got the same emotional intelligence as an adult, and even adults struggle with emotional intelligence. So it's not going to be easy for him to open up and say, well, actually, Mummy, I think it's this. But I'm trying to sort of talk to him a little bit. I'm going to take him out for dinner tomorrow and see if I can get to the bottom of if anything's worrying him or troubling him, or at least just let him know that he can talk to me if he wants to. So yeah, that was Saturday. And then Sunday, I had a day with Jake. We went to Lidl, which, you know, I did film a little bit, but it's not really that exciting. We went to a different Lidl to the one we normally go to, so maybe that was a bit more exciting for me. It was crazy coming out because obviously the shops were going to be closed on the Monday for the bank holiday for the Queen's funeral. So it was absolutely crazy coming out. Like, people were waiting for my parking space. I couldn't get out my parking space because there's so many cars coming past looking for parking spaces. It was crazy. So that was Sunday really. And then yesterday, Monday, obviously the weirdest bank holiday ever, the Queen's funeral. It felt really strange, didn't it? Our intention was to go out for a walk in the morning to kind of break the day up a little bit. We didn't get out in the morning because, oh bless him, wasn't in the best frame of mind again, bless him. Again, it might have been tiredness, who knows. We didn't want to get out of his pyjamas. I mean, we all have those days, don't we? So we went and played in the garden for a little bit, and then we put the funeral on TV. I think it was beautiful. I think it was really nice the way that it was done. It had the right amount of pomp and circumstance. It really showed how mighty she was, but how loved she was, and had that kind of like soft, cuddly side to her as well. Massively felt for her family. I mean, at any funeral, you just want to cry, don't you? And you want someone to hug you. And obviously the tradition and the sense of having to be on show and having to do the right thing kind of meant they couldn't do that. And I really hope that behind closed doors, when they had the private ceremony on the evening, they actually did get to kind of like let their emotions out. I particularly feel for Meghan and Harry, because on top of grieving, on top of trying to repair relationships with the family, they've got to deal with the press, because they seem to get the brunt of the press. And all the negative stuff that comes with it, so I really, really feel for them. So I thought, that's kind of an update. I thought I'd come on and just talk a little bit about what's going well so far. I feel like my first vlog was like, this is where we're at. My second vlog I was hoping was going to be about the theme of, what was my first theme? I can't remember. But that went off on a bit of a tangent because it was kind of the week we got the new Prime Minister, the week the Queen died, so it kind of went, oh, hello. Last week I wanted it to be about growth, and again it wasn't really because I was ill the first part of the week, and then I don't really know what happened the second part of the week, but it wasn't massively about growth. So I thought, let's have a think from that first vlog that I did where I said this is where I'm at and I want to use these vlogs to record how far I've come. Let's see where I've got to. So one thing that I have started doing most days, not every single day, but I'm going to try and do it most days, is EFT tapping. I need to check what EFT stands for. Emotional freedom technique tapping. And I will do a separate video or blog post about this, but it's basically using this little tapping routine on these different points on your body. I think they're similar points to the ones you would activate in acupuncture or acupressure, and using mantras and phrases to kind of reprogram your psyche. One thing I'm learning is that with kind of neuropsychology, you have this neuroplasticity, which means your brain can change. So just because you've been a certain way up until now, doesn't mean that's set in stone. You can change your attitudes, you can change your confidence, you can change lots and lots of different things, and tapping is one way to do that. So I've been doing that, and I found a really good one. As I say, I'll do a separate post and a video about it because I think it deserves that, but that has really been helping me, so that is a positive. I've also been trying to stick to my daily schedules. Obviously last week it kind of went out the window with me being poorly, but it's things like cleaning the bathroom every day, and not fully cleaning it, just giving it like a quick clean, doing one load of washing every day, that kind of thing. I will share kind of my schedules at some point, but I think it's still early days and I'm still refining them, so I don't want to share them just yet because I can't say that they're completely tried and tested. I've only been doing them for a few weeks, but I do find it helps me keep on top of things, and it just takes one more thing out of my brain, so it's not like I'm constantly going, there's something I need to do, there's something I need to do, what is it? I can just go, oh, haven't done my finances yet today, I need to do that, and get it ticked off the list, which is nice. I've also started doing routine planners for the boys. Again, it's been a little bit hit and miss. So I use the little cards that I got from Twinkle. I downloaded them as a free downloadable resource, and it just helps them plan out their day. Elliot, particularly when he gets back from school, I think he's a little bit overwhelmed, so he kind of will go in the lounge sometimes with his shoes on and his school uniform on, and I have to remind him, you need to take your shoes off, go and get changed out your school uniform, get your lunchbox out of your bag, so it's just helping him have that visual prompt of what he needs to do. He knows, but again, it's like me with my list, isn't it? I know what I need to do every day, but I've got that many things going through my mind, I can't remember. And if it's written down for me, I can remember and I can do them, and it takes that stress and that weight off my shoulders to remember them. Obviously for kids, a written list is going to be just another thing for them to do, more stress, so pictures and visual aids are going to help them. And I think it helps with Jake as well, because his routine's changed slightly with going to nursery a little bit more, and we're going to more groups. It kind of allows him to know what to expect next, which again, we all like that, don't we? If I got up tomorrow and someone said, oh, by the way, you're going to Alton Towers today, I'd be like, well, that's great, but I'm not prepared. So it helps them as well to prepare for what's coming up next. Something really exciting has been happening as well, and I've not been able to talk about this, and I've kind of kept filming little bits where I like allude to it or try and allude to it but not give it away, and then I've had to edit them out because I'm like, it just gives it away too much. My job role is changing at the start of October, and I'm really excited about it. The company that I work for got bought out by another company kind of late last year, the start of this year, and I transferred to the UK side of the new company, and it's been fine. It's been good. It's been good, but it's kind of, how can I put it? I've done this role before and I've done it for a long time, whereas the role that I'm going into is working for a different part of the business, the more corporate part of the business, and it's something different that's going to push me and allow me to kind of indulge my creative side, which, as you may know if you've watched anything of mine, I have a need to be creative. It's my bag. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's really exciting. This opportunity has been on the cards since about October last year, so it's taken a really long time to come to fruition. And these last few weeks, it's been so close, and I've been dying to say something on these videos, but I just haven't felt like I could, because obviously there's certain people that need to know before you know, and the majority of them already know. I think probably other people know, but I haven't told them directly. But by the time this video goes live, I will make sure that they know. So that's very good news, and that's certainly a huge thing off the back of what I said on that introduction vlog, where I was like, I'm not sure if I want a career change. So yeah, I did kind of know that might be coming up when I said that. Although there is also something else I'm thinking of doing in the pipeline, but that will probably be next year. But it's something that could be added on to what I would be doing. But anyway, that's for another day. Something else that I've found that's been really helpful for me is doing morning pages. So when I wake up first thing in the morning, I just write one page of whatever's in my head, and it just clears out all the gunk and the crap and quite often the negative thoughts that I wake up with. I'm not massively a morning person, so I'm not one of these people that jumps out of bed and goes, oh, lovely morning, great day of opportunity. I kind of wake up and go, oh God, what now? What have I got to do? What day is it? So doing that helps. It's hard because the boys just want to jump into bed first thing in the morning, but they're kind of getting used to giving mummy just 5 minutes of writing down. And I don't think it hurts for them to see that, because it shows them that it's okay to work on your own mental health as well. On the facing page of that, I do a little gratitude list, and that just helps with my manifestation process and just making me feel more positive in the morning. So, you know, it can be things that personal things that I'm proud of in terms of things like resilience or hard work or ambition. It can be things that I want, like money or good health. It can be things that I just like coffee and chocolate and sunshine, but they all go down on the list and it just makes me feel nice and positive. I've been really good at taking supplements and vitamins. So I started taking a chewable vitamin C supplement, some probiotic gummies, some multivitamin gummies, a rehydration drink, which I did think I brought up with me, but clearly I've left downstairs, and some collagen. Now, I have not consulted a nutritionist, but I'm fairly certain that the combination of things I'm taking isn't dangerous. However, don't take my word for it, and if you want to look into your own vitamin and mineral supplement journey, by all means consult somebody. But this seems to work for me, and it is making me feel better, and it's just one of those things where it's kind of like investing something in me, even though it's just chewing a tablet, which probably sounds really stupid, but when you have come from a place of like low self-esteem, just doing things like that can be a major thing. So that's really good. I've been being more creative, so if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen I've been doing some daft reels. I don't know why I enjoy doing them, and I don't really care if people like them or like comment on them or whatever. I just enjoy making them. Just need to indulge that creative part of my brain. It makes me happy. So that for me is really good. I've been blogging more as well. I feel like my writing style has gone a bit, I don't know, it's not as good as it used to be. But I think that's because I've not been using that part of my brain, and I think rather than being overly analytical and looking at, oh, that's not very good, I'm just publishing it knowing that each time I'm going to get better. So that would be my advice. If there's something you're doing, like a hobby or something, and you don't think, oh, that's not great, just keep at it, because practice makes perfect, and it's better to do it and not do it perfectly, but then keep going and get better than just give up, isn't it? And I think as you get older, it's so easy just to give up. I think when you're a kid, you've got so much more resilience because you're used to learning things and making mistakes and getting things wrong. And then I think as you get older, you start to think everything has to be perfect, and it really doesn't. Change my makeup. If you saw last week's vlog, or was it on Instagram or vlog? I think it was vlog. I just felt like my face was eating my makeup. It just kept disappearing. So I've added eyeliner back into the mix. So I've actually got some eyes. And I've changed my foundation. I have always had oily skin all my life, and all of a sudden I've hit 42 and my skin's gone dry, so I've had to switch to a foundation for normal dry skin, which is very strange, but my face is no longer eating it, which is much better. Hair, it is a mess, but again, if you saw last week's vlog, you'll know I had no idea what to do with it. I now know what I want to do with it. Mrs. Meldrum, if you follow her, she used to be a YouTuber, she does stuff on Instagram now, had her hair done recently, and I was like, yeah, that's what I want, which is kind of like how I used to have it. So I need to make an appointment. All right, doggy, I need to make an appointment to get that done. I want it a little bit shorter, and I want more of a balayage. At the minute I'm kind of got a, well, like a stripy look really. I don't really know what's going on, so I'm going to get that sorted, and also booking some more beauty treatments as well, so I need to make a phone call for that as well. And I bought some new clothes, so it won't be today, I don't think, because I think I'm running out of time a little bit, but I had an order arrive from Marks and Spencer's on Friday, and because of the weekend that we had, I've still not had the opportunity to try things on. I did get some new socks, and I have tried those on. These are Marks and Spencer's thermal socks. I shouldn't have done that, as my bad ankle and it hurts. They look lovely. I will say they're not very warm for thermal socks, but I will do those, and I might include that in this video, because I think this might be a bit of a nothingy video this week else. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and update you, because like I say, I normally would vlog the weekend, and I have got footage, but I don't think it's suitable to use. And some of these vlogs are going to be more chatty ones, and some are going to be more like, oh, look what we did, and a bit of a mixture of the two. And I think this is definitely going to be a chatty one, hence this. Right, I'm going to go and see what's going on downstairs now. Hello on Wednesday. I said I would do a little try on and a little show of what I bought from Marks and Spencer's. So here we go. Let's do it. I got some pyjamas because if you watched my wardrobe organisation, you know that I desperately needed some new pyjamas. These are like a nice brushed cotton kind of traditional pyjama set. So it kind of has got buttons at the front and then long trousers. Those were £18, which I don't think is bad for Marks and Spencer's. I'd expect to pay that much in a supermarket, so I think that's quite good value. I'll try those on in a moment. These were a bit of an add-on thing. There were 3 pairs on here, but I've worn 2 of them. They are some thermal socks. Now, I decided, just doing a squat while I talk to you, I decided that I was going to spend approximately £100 on the Marks and Spencer's site, which perhaps sounds a bit bougie, but if you did see that wardrobe organisation video, you will know that I haven't spent a lot on clothes for quite some time, so it was very much needed. And I was close to the 100 and I thought I'm gonna just put something else in just to make it up to the total. And I saw this 3-pack of thermal socks. They were in very kind of neutral earthy tones. The other one is kind of a fawny colour and a cream, and I thought they would keep my feet snuggly. They're not the warmest thermal socks, I have to say. They are nice and they look lovely, but they're not the warmest thermal socks I've ever had. So they're okay. I bought some pants. I'm not going to try those on for you, and I'm not going to dwell on what they're like because I just find it a bit weird showing the internet my pants, but they're just basic pants because mine were falling apart. So there you go. This is kind of a basic wardrobe staple. So you may remember, again, if you watched my wardrobe organisation video, I had a black cardigan that I tend to throw over my work clothes when I'm on a Teams call and I'm feeling a bit cold. The light's not great in here at the moment. I'm sorry, I've had to close the blind because I'm going to try things on and I don't want my neighbours to see me doing that, but it's made the light go a bit fuzzy, so I'm sorry about that. So this is just a long line black cardigan. Whee! To replace the Primark one that I have at the moment in my wardrobe, where the pockets are falling off because I've had it for that long. This one is very boingy. It feels like a spring. It's strange to describe. This was £29.50, which is a lot more expensive than the Primark ones, but the quality does feel really, really good. So I'll try that one on in a minute as well. This is probably my favourite item. Again, you will have seen, if you saw that video, and if you haven't, go and watch it, I'll link it below, that I needed some more cardigans and knitwear, and I really like this. It's got kind of this kind of cricket style neckline, which follows down through the buttons. It's lovely blue, it's nice and soft. It's a nice cable knit with whatever this is called. My nan will be angry that I don't know my knitting things because she's a very good knitter. It's also got kind of little flecks of different colours. There's like pinks and aquas and whites through the knit, which makes it really pretty. That was £35. So not the cheapest, but kind of not massively expensive for knitwear. For me, that's kind of how much I'd expect to pay for a decent cardigan. We're just talking away and then my camera cut out. So that was a bit annoying. But I was saying, I think £35 is quite reasonable. That's kind of what I'd expect to pay for like a decent knitwear / cardigan. I've realised I can try the knitwear on like this. Didn't need to close the blind. It's only the pyjamas I need to close the blind for. So let's get on with it. What are we thinking? It's quite big. This is a size 8. I'm glad it didn't size up. Is that the trend? Is it supposed to be oversized? Is it supposed to look like I've borrowed it from my cricketing boyfriend? What do we think? I'm not sure. I think it fits really weird. Look, it's really saggy and baggy around the hips. Look at this. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think that's particularly attractive. Not loving that. I feel like it's just too big here. Feels like it's stretched somehow already. Feels like it should be like that. Which looks much nicer. This is the basic cardigan. I mean, just a black cardigan, there's not a lot to say. Very comfortable. The sleeves are so long at Marks and Spencer's. I know I don't have the longest arms, but they are so long. Yeah, I like that one. I'd probably wear that more often than I wear my current one actually. Just because it feels nicer and it's got a nice kind of fit to it too. And to keep. What do we think? I think they fit the best out of everything, which is kind of ironic considering I'm only going to wear those to bed and around the house. Oh dear. Yeah. Those are a keep as well. But I think I might have to return that blue cardigan. Let's just try it on again over this. I know I wouldn't wear this combination together, but to be fair, this wasn't in any plastic. And it makes me wonder if somebody else has returned it. And it is just a bit faulty. Because it's a strange place where it goes out. You see? Is that where the pockets are? I don't know what this is. This is my little fashion move. It's just not flattering, is it? It's like, just juts out my widest part. Just no. Just no. I'd rather save that money and spend it on something that's more perfect. I don't know if I'll vlog anything else today, but we'll see. We'll see how the day goes. Can I stay in these pyjamas, please? They're really comfy. Thanks. Hello on... I've got no carrying idea what day it is. With the Queen's funeral being on Monday, and that then being a bank holiday, and then that changed our bin collection day. And, you know, if you live in the UK and you're a grown-up, you know that anything that changes your bin collection day just completely throws you. So it's Thursday today, Thursday. So hello on Thursday. Elliot's at school. Jake is at nursery this morning. I'm having a doing kind of morning. I've just cleaned the bathrooms. Probably my least favourite job to do because there's just fluff and hair and grime and kind of like, not nasty mould, but you know, like pre-mould, like when it's starting to go a bit gunky but it's not gone mouldy. Yeah, it's just not my favourite thing to do, I'll be honest. Anybody like cleaning the bathroom? The only good thing, the only saving grace for it is a real before and after. Like you feel like you're achieving something by wiping away the grime. Whereas other things you clean, you feel like it doesn't look any different. That definitely does look different. Yeah, but don't feel too sorry for me using my only child-free morning to clean the bathroom. The reason I'm doing it today is because on Saturday, I am going out for lunch and shopping with a mummy friend. So I had to do it today. So yay for Saturday, boo for cleaning the bathroom. I've actually made myself kind of like a little time planner today. So I tend to have a list of things to do. I either try and put too much in or I just get confused as to what to do in what order. So I've tried to kind of time block my day out. So school run's done, washing is in, done my tapping, I've cleaned the bathrooms. I was hoping to finish that at 10 o'clock and I did. It's now 10:04, but obviously I've picked the camera up, which has taken a bit of time. So my next thing to do is I started cleaning the lounge yesterday and didn't finish it because it was time to go and do something, get Elliot from school probably. So I need to hoover the lounge and mop, and I've noticed this sticky fingerprint over on the windowsill, so I'm going to go and get rid of that as well. And that's supposed to take me until 10:30, so can I do that in 25 minutes? Let's see if this new, more efficient me can get this done. With 6 minutes to spare, which pleases the perfectionist, overachiever part of me that requires validation. I'm going to use that 6 minutes to make a coffee before I move on to my next task. What is this? Oh my gosh. We are so fortunate to have the NHS and to have a free healthcare service in the UK. However, primary care, which is kind of like your doctors and your dentists, is completely screwed, bless them. It's not their fault. Well, I don't think it's their fault. I doubt it's their fault. I booked myself in for my flu vaccination. I'm not eligible for the free one because I'm not the right age. I don't have any pre-existing medical conditions, etc. And I'm not pregnant. So I book in privately through Boots. I do it online. It takes about 10 minutes once you've answered all the questions. So that's all booked. I know I don't technically need to get it because I don't have any pre-existing health conditions. However, I spent 1 year from about October to March just constantly being ill, because as you know, if you're a parent, when your children are ill, obviously they want cuddles, and they wipe all their snot all over you. So whatever they get, you tend to get as well. And my immune system's never been the best, and I've never known why. And then the research I've done recently about my nervous system and how it's a bit dysregulated, and like polyvagal theory and stuff like that, it would kind of make sense that that's why my immune system's not that great. Oh geez, he fell over. And why I pick bugs up more easily. So yes, between kids wiping snot on me and me not having the strongest immune system, I am taking no chances. I do not want to have a replay of, I think it was 2016, when I was ill from October till the following March. It was not fun. Trying to lock the window, there we go. So I did mine in about 10 minutes. I've got that over at the weekend. And then obviously Jake qualifies for the free nasal one because he is a child. Elliot will get his through school as well. So I phoned the doctors, and our doctors, if you're local, you'll know which practice it is, because our doctors is legendary for like the most ridiculous queues, phone queues, and being on hold for the most ridiculous length of time. I mean, I have been 50th in the queue before now, so I was 17th this time. So that's actually not bad for our doctors. This will be all right. 43 minutes was the entirety of the, I held for about 40 of those and spoke to the receptionist for about 3. I mean, they're lovely once you speak to them, and I'm sure it's not their fault, but is it that difficult to get some more people to answer the phone? I know they've already got like tight budgets and stuff, but 43 minutes, it's a little bit ridiculous. So that's all booked now as well. And now I need to run around like a mad thing and also charge my phone before I go and get Jakey for nursery. I need to have a shower because I didn't have one this morning, and I need to wash my hair, which means I need to dry it because I need to go out with Jakey this afternoon. So I better crack a lack on. Thanks, doctors, for taking so long to answer the blinking phone. I can do a lot of things while I'm on hold. Can't have a shower while I'm on hold. Can you imagine? Did it with 4 minutes to spare, although I didn't really get a chance. I washed my hair and I've dried it, but it could do with a bit more styling. I've just bunged it up in a clip just to get it out of the way. But I did it. Woohoo. Just popped to our local shopping centre to take something back, pick something up, and just get some bits and bobs. Didn't really film anything because you can't really film anything when you're trying to shop with a 3-year-old. It's a bit like trying to shop with a chimpanzee in tow. Yeah, but we got there, didn't we? Yeah. We got there. Yeah. No, a little rest in the car, aren't we, before we get... No, we didn't get there. No. And what happened? Poo-poo. You haven't done a poo-poo. Yeah. And now we're just getting Elliot from school, and we had a bit of a moment where we thought we were going to have to do something different for tea, but that's all resolved, so we can just go home and chill now, which is good. But we're waiting to go to some shops tomorrow too. I'm trying to find times to fit it in when the kids aren't with me, but they're few and far between. Oh, unless I do have a spare hour on the evening. That might work instead. That might work. Yo, it's now the evening. Got back from school with the boys. I was so glad I drove because it actually started raining, so that was really good. Excuse my eye makeup, it is very smudged because I was peeling onions before and it made my eyes water, and I got a tissue and wiped them and it just smudged my makeup everywhere, and I haven't done anything about it because I haven't been anywhere. So yeah, we just got back and had a look at Elliot's homework, and the boys watched some telly, Jake did some colouring. It's a bit chaotic and I don't really know why. I always find that period between the school run, getting home and having tea is just a bit chaotic. I think it's just because everyone's a bit tired and there's like stuff that you need to do to get prepped for the next day. But we did it, so that's the main thing. Managed to cook a delicious ragu for tea. Mr. H didn't want pasta, so I did us some potato wedges with the leftover potatoes from our roast at the weekend. So, you know, and you just feel like you're on it and you're like, I'm cooking proper food for my family. I'm not cooking beige freezer food. This is amazing. But at the same time, I was just like, I hope the boys are okay while I'm cooking this, because you just never know what you're going to come back into, do you? Luckily, they were fine. So we had that, and then I've just been working, really. And I just jumped on to say the new position that I'm going to be doing from the start of October that I'm really excited about. I've just had my final offer letter through for, and everything in it is perfect or better than perfect. It's a great opportunity, really exciting. Just everything checks out and it's so cool. But you'll laugh. I've been waiting for this offer letter for quite a while, and it's been kind of going to and fro for various reasons, but we've got there. And so I go to print it off so I can sign it. The printer says, I've got no ink. I'm like, that's fine. I've got black cartridge. I've got it sorted. Put the black cartridge in. My printer does something really strange, whereby it will only tell you it's got low ink on one cartridge, but as soon as you replace that cartridge, it will then decide it's got low ink on every cartridge. And I'd forgotten this, because fortunately I don't have to replace the cartridges very often. I don't do that much printing. But I'd forgotten it does this. So I replaced the black one and it went, ha ha ha, you need cyan as well. I was like, oh, for goodness sake. Haven't got cyan, so I've had to order it. And it's not going to come until the 1st of October. But do you know what? You're not supposed to sign contracts during Mercury retrograde. I said that a bit funny, Mercury retrograde. So I think this is the universe's way of protecting me, so that I don't have to sign a contract during Mercury retrograde and I can sign it afterwards. I don't necessarily need to sign it, it's just a formality anyway, just so everyone is clear and understands what's going on. So yeah, but it's really exciting. I feel like I need to treat myself to something to say well done, because it is a real like achievement. I did buy myself a book today, but I feel like I might need a bigger treat than that. What can I treat myself with? Apart from books and coffees, quite bad at actually treating myself. Anyway, I better crack on. I just wanted to come on and tell you that because it's exciting. Hello on Friday. I thought I'd quickly jump on and say hello, because otherwise I'm not sure when I'm going to get a chance today. School run done. It's the first day of August. No, the first day of autumn today, and it feels very autumnal. It's nice and sunny, but a little bit chilly at the same time. We're off to the shops, hopefully off to the library, hopefully off for a coffee, and then off to gymnastics. So let's get a crack-a-lacking, matey. Yeah. Getting out of the house with a 3-year-old. It's a little bit of a challenge. So now we're on the way. We're going to go for it. It's Friday night. It's the first Friday in a while where it hasn't been major stress, and I'm not absolutely shattered. Now, whether that's just because, like, I think energy levels are kind of getting back to normal after the shock of Elliot going back to school. I think like his body's getting back a bit more used to that's the right word, the kind of stamina that he needs to get through the school week and all the extracurricular stuff that he does as well. So that's part of it, I think. And Jake has been really good today too. I mean, he's been a 3-year-old, you know. It's never going to be plain sailing, but like there's different levels. There's like, yeah, you're just being a 3-year-old, and oh my gosh, what is going on? And today it's just been, yeah, you're just being a 3-year-old. So I actually have some energy. I don't have loads of energy. I'd still quite like to curl up with a blanket and read my book. Which I don't think is a bad thing, because chill is good. But yeah, it's quite a nice feeling. I wonder if it's because things are starting to align with like work as well. I'm looking after myself better as well, taking all those vitamins and whatnot. Drinking more water. Like looking after my nervous system a bit more, noticing when I'm getting tense and just trying to breathe out. But it feels good. I think when I started this little vlog journey, I was like, and then the first 2 weeks weren't great because, you know, things kept happening. And then this week has probably been like the first week where I feel like
If it was a graph, it'd be like, It's starting to go upwards, which is good. I'm going to sign off for the week, and I may edit this tonight to go live on Sunday, or I might edit it tomorrow night. I can't quite decide. See how I feel. I've got to go and get Elliot from his club in a little bit. See how I feel when I get back. See what Mr. H's plans are as well. Hope you've had a fantastic week, and I'll catch you again soon. Like, subscribe, all that jazz if you'd like to follow my little journey. Yeah, positive vibes at the minute. See ya.